Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, welcome as well. Today I'm going to be trying out this Morovan Polygel kit. I am fairly new to Polygel. The only other time I used Polygel was when I was trying out the Temu Polygel, which was just like a few weeks ago. So I am very new to Polygel. This will be my second time doing a Polygel nail set. But before that, I'm just going to be showing you everything that came in this Morovan Polygel kit. This first thing is a bag with the top coat, base coat, and primer. I did not take them out in this clip just because one of them leaked and I did not have gloves with me at the time, but I will be showing all of them later on in the video and you'll be able to see the consistency and the bottle up close and everything, but that is just what is in that bag. So currently on Amazon, this kit is $9.99, which I personally think is really good considering everything that you get in this kit. And that is also one of the reasons I chose this Polygel kit over other Polygel kits. It was just such a great price. But I also wanted to try this brand specifically, just because I feel like it's one of those gel brands or just nail product brands that went viral on TikTok, and people have just been making so many videos about this brand and I see them everywhere, and I just wanted to see what all the hype was about and see if it's actually that good. But anyways, as you could probably see, I have already unboxed a couple things from the box. So the first thing was just this brush. It seemed like a pretty good quality brush. It wasn't too flimsy or anything, and I will be testing it out later on in the video. And then next we have 3 of these clips. I believe you just use them to, when you apply the dual form to your nail, you just clip it on so that it doesn't slide around or fall off. I actually didn't end up using these clips. I just didn't feel like they were very necessary, but it's nice that they're included if you do like clipping the dual form onto your nail. The next thing in the box is a bottle of slip solution. You can certainly just use rubbing alcohol as slip solution, but I might as well just use this one because it came in the kit. And just in case anyone doesn't know, slip solution is used when you are applying the polygel, and it prevents it from sticking onto the brush, and it just makes it way easier to work with the polygel. So you're definitely going to need some sort of slip solution like this or rubbing alcohol, because without slip solution it would be just really hard to work with polygel. By the way, I'm really sorry about the camera occasionally getting out of focus. I had my phone, which I film on my phone, I had my phone positioned so that I wasn't able to see the screen when I was filming it, so I didn't realize it was getting out of focus, so I do apologize for that. But anyways, now I am taking out the polygels that this kit came with. It did come with 6 different polygels, and if you don't like these colors, they have other ones that are this exact same kit but just with different colors, so you can definitely check that out on Amazon. After I'm done unboxing everything else, I will be swatching all 6 of these polygels because I know a lot of times the color it shows on the bottle isn't completely accurate to what the color actually looks like. So I will definitely be swatching them so you guys can see the true color. The next thing I am pulling out of the box are these dual forms. I did use these dual forms in my last polygel video and they worked great, and I am also going to be using them once again in this video when I do the nail set. There are 10 sizes. I wouldn't say it runs large or small, just kind of in the middle, and you can always file down the dual forms, kind of like you're filing down a full cover nail tip when you're doing Gel X nails. You can also file down dual forms if they are too big for your nail and you're kind of in between a size. Only a couple items left in the box. So first there's a miniature file. It is a 100-180 grit file. Finally, the very last thing is just the instruction manual. Here is just an overview of everything that came in this Morovan Polygel kit. And basically it comes with everything you need to do polygel nails except for a UV LED lamp, which I didn't need one because I already have one. But if you are just starting out and you don't have a lamp, I did see on Amazon that there are Morovan Polygel kits that do come with a nail lamp, or you can always get other brands that are similar to this kit with a UV LED lamp. Now on to the swatching. I am actually not going to be swatching them onto a swatching stick. I was feeling a little lazy, so I am just squirting out a little bit of each color onto a sheet of paper, and maybe I'll swatch them later on, but I just was not feeling it. So this kit comes with clear, white, brown, a lighter brown with glitter in it, light pink, which will be the color I'm using in today's nail set, and then kind of a coral salmon glitter color. Alright, so now that everything is unboxed and I swatched all the colors, it is time for the nail set. So I am just going to start with prepping my natural nails. So I am first just pushing back my cuticles and scraping off some dead skin. There is someone right outside my apartment window scraping snow off the sidewalk, so I am sorry if you can hear it. I hope it's not too obnoxious. We got our very first snow of the year here in Kansas over Thanksgiving break. I feel like before this it has been really nice outside and just unusually warm, but then it suddenly snows and it's just so crazy. I'm personally not a huge fan of snow unless it snows enough to call off school, or it snows enough that you can go sledding. Then that just makes it way more fun. Anyways, back to the nail prep. As you can see, I have moved on to the next step, and that is just buffing all of my nails with this little sponge buffer here. And then I am just dusting off the nail dust. Here is what the primer looks like that came in the kit. And I have actually never used primer before, so I don't know too much about it. I assume it just helps the polygel nails stay on longer. I don't really know what else it's used for, but I do know that it's not completely necessary. So if you do not have a primer, you can still do polygel nails just as long as you have a base coat. It's a super thin consistency, so that is why the bottle is so small, because you don't really use a lot of it when you're applying it to your natural nails. Just because it is so thin, it spreads out really easily. Here is how the Morovan base coat looks. I did really enjoy the base coat. I thought it was a perfect medium. It wasn't too thick and it wasn't too thin. I've had a lot of base coats that I feel like were kind of too thin, so I just really like that this one is a bit thicker, but it's not too thick. It's still really easy to apply, but it's not so thin that it's going to like flood your cuticle really easily. This step is optional. After I cured the base coat, I am just putting some rubbing alcohol on my nails just to remove the sticky layer. I just kind of find it a little annoying to have sticky nails while I'm applying the polygel. So it's just a lot nicer to take off the sticky layer, so you don't have to worry about accidentally touching your nails onto your other hand or something and getting it all sticky, or you might accidentally touch it on to something with pet hair on it, and it's just hard to get off. So definitely recommend wiping off the sticky layer, but it's definitely not necessary if you don't mind it. So now that all of that is done, I'm starting with my thumbnail. Like I said earlier, I am just going to be using the light pink polygel that came in the Morovan kit. So I'm just trying to estimate how much polygel to put on the dual form. I feel like I almost always either put too little or too much, but I think it's always better to put too little rather than too much because you can always add more. So for this first one, I actually added too little, but I just ended up adding a little more. And then I just dipped my brush in that slip solution and I'm just spreading the polygel out, trying to make it as even as possible throughout the whole dual form, but also trying to get the cuticle area to be a little bit thinner than the rest of the nail, and then the free edge be a little bit thicker. And you'll also want the apex to be thicker than the sides of the nail because the apex is what makes the nail stronger and just really holds it together and prevents it from breaking. I still have trouble doing this and keeping the cuticle area thin because this is just my second time. So definitely don't expect to have a perfect application, even like the first 10 times. It definitely takes practice and time. Then once you're ready, you can apply the dual form to your nail. You won't want to really push down very hard because then the polygel will seep out. Just gently push it down. Make sure it's in the spot that you want it to be and it's even on your nail, and then you can cure it and pop off the dual form. I always find it the easiest to take off from the tip of the nail rather than the cuticle area or the side. As for the consistency of the polygel, I do wish it was a little bit thicker. I was even in a cold room. I was freezing, and that is supposed to make the polygel a little bit thicker, but the polygel wasn't even that thick, and I do wish it was a little thicker. I mean, you don't want it to be too thick because then it's just hard to work with, but I personally wish it was thicker, and I did notice it is like a little grainy too. So yeah, it wasn't like super smooth like the other polygels I have tried before, but overall it's an okay consistency. It's an okay polygel in my opinion. And to be honest, I do actually like that Temu polygels that I tried in my last polygel video better than this polygel. Since I've already tried the dual forms twice now, I'm thinking in my next polygel video, I'll probably either try it using nail tips, or I might try out using paper forms, which I'm kind of scared to do because it just looks intimidating and just really hard, but I am going to try that out sometime and see how well it works. I know I am really new to polygel, but I am considering that I do like polygel better than Gel X nails, or at least the application process of it. I feel like polygel is just a lot easier to apply, at least with the dual forms. Instead of Gel X nails and applying full cover nail tips with UV glue and stuff. I feel like polygel nails with the dual forms is just a lot easier to work with in my opinion. I don't know though, because I do still really like Gel X, and the downside of polygel with dual forms, unless you're like really good at it, is you have to do a lot of filing afterwards for it to look decent. At least in my experience, I always have to file down the nails after applying polygel with dual forms. But what do you guys think? Do you guys like Gel X better or polygel? Or are you like an acrylic fan or something else? Let me know in the comments down below. Even if I do end up liking one better than the other, I'll still never just do one thing and stick to that one thing. Like, I'm never just going to do Gel X nails or just going to do polygel. I really like to switch it up and just do a whole bunch of different things like dip powder nails. I want to get into acrylic and continue doing polygel and Gel X, builder gel, and I just really like to change it up a lot. These nails aren't looking too great right now, but after some clipping, buffing, and filing, they are going to look a lot better. So first I'm just taking my acrylic nail clipper and just clipping down some of the nails, or all of the nails, because I didn't want them to be that long, and some of them are kind of uneven. Now I'm just filing, crisping up the edges. This would also be the time to change the shape of the nail if you want to change the shape, but I am just sticking to a square shaped nail. I'm going in with an e-file now with a sanding band, and I'm mostly just going to be focusing around the cuticle area to create that natural and seamless look. And don't worry, if you don't have an e-file, you can definitely just use a hand file for this. On to the nail art portion of the video. So I was kind of going for a wintry look, but just like a subtle winter look. I didn't want it to be like screaming winter, but just like somewhat wintry, if that makes sense. But I am just starting out with this Beetle gel liner, and I'm going to be doing some Frenchies. And then using a lint-free applicator brush and some acetone, I'm just going to perfect the French tip, making it look a little bit better and more even. Without curing, I am going to scoop some blue glitter onto the French tip. It's definitely a lot easier and a lot less messy if you already have a blue sparkly gel polish or whatever color you're wanting it to be, but I did not have a blue sparkly gel polish to make the French tip, so I just had to do the blue gel liner and then put glitter over it. And then after I pour some glitter over it, I'm going to cure it, and then that will kind of stick the glitter in place. There will still be some glitter that didn't stick on, so I'm just taking a brush and brushing off the excess glitter. You might have noticed that my nails suddenly turned matte in the next clip, but that is just because I decided to buff my nails because I realized that the glitter still likes to stick on shiny surfaces, and it doesn't stick on as much when it is a matte surface. So you could either put on a matte top coat or just buff your nails. I feel like it's a lot easier to just buff the nails, so that is what I did just to prevent the glitter from sticking on to the rest of the nail. So once again, creating the French tip, and before curing it, pouring some of the glitter onto my nail, then curing it, and then dusting off the excess glitter. I'm going to be doing the same thing on my middle nail and my pinky nail, but on my ring nail, I will be doing a different nail art design. So here is how the Morovan top coat looks, and I'm just going to say I really do not like the top coat. It's definitely my least favorite thing that came in this kit. It's just way too thick. Like, it's the thickest top coat I have ever used. It's like almost as thick or possibly as thick as builder gel. It's just like unnecessarily thick, and it's just kind of hard to apply since it's so thick. I also noticed that it is slightly foggy, so that is just something I want to say. I don't really like their top coat. The reason I was showing you the top coat now is because I am using it to apply some rhinestones and nail charms, which I will give them that. Thick top coats are great for applying nail charms and rhinestones, but other than that, I definitely would not recommend their top coat. If you are like thinking about buying it separately. Obviously you can't really control that. If you're buying a kit, it's just going to come in the kit, but if you were thinking about buying their top coat separately or something, I would not recommend that. But anyways, I did just apply a bow just right in the middle of my ring fingernail, and then around it I'm just applying some little flat back blue rhinestones. Now all I have to do is apply the top coat, and for the nail with the rhinestones and nail charm, I just tried to go around with the top coat instead of like painting right on top of the rhinestones. I know this was a pretty long video, so if you stuck till the end, thank you so much. You are just amazing, and it really helps my channel out. But anyways, make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I hope to see you in my next video. And I hope you liked this nail set. I really liked how it turned out. I love glitter nail art, and yeah, I just think they're really cute.